Flat Earth Debate live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live, and there's also a Coffee, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and X. We are joined by Neil and a whole bunch of people in the Flat Earth Debate Discord server, so welcome one and all.
How are you?
Good morning.
Hello.
Irritated.
Good morning.
I've had time to stew on the awful truth of why the suppression. So to a point, you're like, okay, well, I have to deal with this as a YouTuber. The numbers are going south, and I can't seemingly do anything about it. It doesn't seem to matter how many microphone shorts videos I pump out. I'm struggling to keep up with my generally very steady view count, which has, up until the last 6 months, been moving up for about the last 10 years consistently until recently, which obviously affects my income. Now, obviously, I don't want to be in a position where I have to e-beg after 10 years of YouTubing, but that is what is creeping up very, very quickly upon me because of egregious censorship. Now, yesterday, albeit very ill, I found out why the heavy censorship. It's because there's a mainstream narrative currently being punted out to the general populace that we're going to be invaded by aliens. And me pointing out that there is no sky vacuum, it's a violation of the second law of thermodynamics. If the sky was a vacuum, then the gas we are all enjoying breathing would be filling that space. Moreover, we'd have never developed gas pressure in the first place because there'd be nothing for the gas pressure to press upon if the sky was a giant vacuum 10 to the minus 17 torr. So outer space is fake, there is no sky vacuum, therefore there is no alien invasion. And the fact that we can so easily demolish this current bullshit narrative being fed into the lugholes of the general idiot populace is the reason I have to suffer financial loss. And it's very, very irritating to me, a hard-working YouTuber, to be suppressed simply because we discuss things like the second law of thermodynamics. It's not like we're controversially discussing the Mandela effect, or no forest on a flat earth, or 9/11, or any of the other garbage that seemingly the other flat earth compadres talk about and get promoted for it. Because if you're talking about 9/11 truth or Mandela effect, you're easily ridiculed. Whereas if you're talking about how gas would fill space if the sky was a vacuum, then you deserve the most heavy and egregious censorship that can possibly be, as a YouTuber who spent 10 years building his channel. So yeah, I'm pretty pissed. Pissed at YouTube, pissed at the idiocy of the people who surround me, the general populace, the general public, the idiots who inhabit this plane that we all dwell atop, the idiots who will buy that they're on a spinning water ball flying through a sky vacuum simply because their overlords tell them so. And it was pointed out in the pre-show that there's an entire 2020 rhetoric where people suffered ill health as a result of a rhetoric, where they were locked down and just suffered that nonsense gladly. Not me, I didn't partake in it. I carried on as I was, to the extent that I could, where the parks were cordoned off and I couldn't take my kids into them. But beyond that, I tried to exist in exactly the same way as I always had, and everybody else around me panicked. Now that that's been shown to be utter garbage and the censorship in that regard's been lifted, I can quite happily talk about that nonsense waffle that everybody fell victim to. Not me, you. Victims. And now you're falling for the same garbage that you're going to be invaded by bleeding aliens. Something that back in the 70s would have been poured score on by hillbillies reporting to the Star newspaper how they saw a light in the sky and were kidnapped and had autopsies shown to them, medical procedures performed upon them. Yet those people were laughed out of town 50 or 60 years ago. But now, because the overlords say we're going to be invaded by aliens, you all buy it with a bit of black and white footage? You're all idiots. Why should I have to suffer financial loss because the general public are stupid? Oh, because we put in danger the rhetoric of aliens put forth to the general public. That's why. And it's an outrage. It's annoying, and that's irritated me greatly. Up until the point that I didn't know why I was suffering this egregious censorship, I didn't mind so much. I just had a bit of self-pity and was emptying my audience that I'll have to do a bit of e-begging because of the massive losses I'm suffering currently in terms of the downtick, and I didn't know why. So what the hell? We've had Antarctic garbage. The people have walked away. We've pointed out that they were measuring Earth flat, but we're not really to their detriment anymore. Will's walked away, having seemingly convinced the world, with Jaren stepping away as a shill from flat Earth, ignoring the flat Earth measurements and justifying them as follows. Earth is like a Home Depot? No, it just means Earth's measured flat, like it was by every single Antarctic participant for 24 hours. Apart from Fugly Dave, who got outsmarted by a tripod and failed miserably to measure Earth flat for the full 24 hours. Had he been able to use his EQ mount like the rest of the participants, he too would have acquired 24 hours worth of flat Earth elevation angle measurements to the sun. But he was too stupid to use a tripod. Other than Fugly Dave McKeegan, who didn't successfully manage it for the full 24 hours, everybody else there managed to successfully measure Earth flat. What's that? Me talking about the sky vacuum means I need even more censorship for the foreseeable future? What a friggin' outrage. So yeah, I'm not in the best of moods, I've got to be honest. What else do we get?
Well, tough going there, because look, the aliens that are coming from outer space, so this gas, our atmosphere, I've talked to college professors, and their answer is with such a conviction. Oh, gravity keeps the gas tied around the ball, and even to question that part of it, just that part of it, gravity, is sacrilege. And yet, where do you go with that?
Point out what gravity isn't. Gravity is not a force.
It's labeled as common knowledge. What, you don't believe in gravity? I mean, it's worse than believing in flat Earth.
The standard rhetoric is gravity is not a force to hold anything anywhere ever. It's a bent pseudo-Riemannian invented geometry by a man named Einstein as of the last 110 years. So no, gravity is not a force to hold gas anywhere. To describe it in Newtonian terms, you will also require Earth be measured flat. It's a downward vector, perpendicular to a plane of reference. Gravity, 100-year out-of-date version, requires Earth be measured flat. I think I'd be in a better mood. I'm probably sleeping 18 hours of the day because I'm poorly. So I'm trying to recover by getting lots and lots of rest. So as soon as yesterday, I got up, did the show, because I didn't think I was going to. I was in bed and I scheduled the show, and then sort of woke up and thought, I really do want to spend time with the people who do actually support me. Now, I've got an exceptionally good community. It's the only thing keeping me from going completely bonkers, if I'm perfectly honest. The fact that there's good people in my community that won't allow me to suffer financial loss, that won't allow me to just go under, not be able to pay my bills. People will support me financially. The good people in my community. Yeah, that's the only saving grace here. That in spite of me being suppressed and kept as small as possible, tucked away in a little corner, the community I've built is extremely strong, full of good people. And that's a saving grace. I'm very grateful. So yeah, for that reason, I got up feeling ill and did the show anyway with a second show running to the public. But yeah, the members-only show went public eventually yesterday, so I've kept my schedule. And partially it's because I don't want to have to lean continually on the good people of my community. Yeah, they won't allow that to happen to me. And I'm very, very, very humbled by that fact. The fact that I can look down the barrel of a camera and say those things is heartwarming to me. Shows the good in the people around me. Why should I have to lean on them? Why shouldn't I, like any other YouTuber, be able to make the money from the ad revenue? But there we go. At least I can do that. I'm sure there's other communities that are suppressed for whatever reason. They might not be righteous in their endeavours, but by comparison, if they're suppressed, they may not have communities around them that will go out of their way to make sure that they don't go under. I do, so I'm very privileged in that regard. In many ways, who cares that I'm not getting the money from the ad revenue if I am supported by people financially? As long as I'm still keeping the lights on, what difference does it make the source? It just annoys me that the videography aspect isn't actually paying the bills anymore. It was close to for a long time, and it's been like a swap over. So as the subscriber count's gone up, the view count has gone down on average, but there's more people watching and I'm producing more videos. So it's consistently climbed through me doing proactive work to mitigate any perceived losses. But back when I had less than 10,000 subscribers, the view counts for each and every video I put out was massively higher. Well, I know exactly why. Because back then we were talking crap. We talked nonsense a lot of the time on our journey through Flat Earth. We were the ones talking about 9/11 truth and Mandela effect. Admittedly, I was a skeptic and talking to the detriment of the subject matter most of the time. Most of the time there was people around me that I was irritated with while I disagreed with their garbage waffle about there being no forests on a flat earth, or there being mud floods, or there being a Mandela effect, or there being clone centres. All the stupid shit that the people around me seem to have grown by talking about. That annoys me too. So if I carried on talking about it, even if it was in the negative, the people around me obviously promoting it in the positive sense, my channel would have probably grown at a much greater rate. Because then I'd be worthy of ridicule. If I was to say, oh yeah, of course we had clone centres. Taylor Swift's been cloned multiple times. Yeah, that would get me growing. That stupid nonsense that people around me spew. But just sticking to the facts, just sticking to things like the second law of thermodynamics dictates that the gas would fill a sky vacuum. Ergo, there is no outer space, it's fake. That's an appeal to a law of nature. So I'll get heavily suppressed. But if I start talking about there being no forest on a flat earth or mud floods, then I'll get promoted. Making me easier target to ridicule.
You heard the no one.
What, the latest and greatest shit that flat earthers are encouraged to talk so they can get promoted in the algorithm to benefit those who want to ridicule them? No, Neil, I don't tend to pay attention. What is it?
All of these prominent people like Charlie Kirk and others that may have been assassinated or disappeared or whatever, they're all in the hot pots in Antarctica that Admiral Byrd discovered.
I see. So these... Oh my God, I can't believe my friggin' ears. So people are on our side of this discussion talking about people who've been assassinated actually existing in the Bahamas. Wow. I just can't believe my ears. It makes me want to cry.
I mean, come on. I know it's tough. And with the censorship going on the internet, this purge that's happening and everything, it's getting harder and harder. And, none of us got here. We didn't grow up believing and understanding these realities, these law of nature, and all these things that we're talking about here, that the flat Earth movement around you is coming to. But what we're doing is we're destroying the heart of a closely guarded religion.
Facts. What's
and that's very tough, how they don't want that. They don't want that religion to be destroyed. And they will, with a great fury, they will try
That's true. That's very true. Is Vax here?
Yes.
I just saw that this was open,
Yes.
and Vax is one of my personal friends, so I wanted to speak to him personally.
Yeah, he is,
on this account.
I just want to shout
But
out.
just interrupt everybody.
Just give me a sec. LJ, thank you for
Well,
the
yeah,
super chat.
I am.
Just give me a second.
You
Just give me a sec.
carry on? You
Hello,
can carry
can you
on.
hear me? Just give me a second. Yes, he is here. I've answered you. Can you just give me a sec to shout out a super chatter? Thank you for the super chat, LJ. It says, thoughts on the fake Charlie Kirk shooting hoax. You got them. So by coincidence, you've made that super chat after we've just literally discussed it, right? You've got no business talking about this. You don't know it's a hoax. Yeah? So going around saying that what could potentially be the loss of a man's life is a hoax is egregious. Now, number one, you don't know that's the case, so don't say it. If you know, present your evidence. But not here. Here we talk about flat Earth. We talk about the measurements made by Al-Biruni to utilise trig of a flat Earth. The thousands of years of documented flat Earth measurements and prerequisites that we still to this day measure Earth flat with. Because that's the only way Earth gets measured. But the Charlie Kirk assassination is something that is primed to make people like us sound like idiots by spewing garbage about it being a hoax. Now, if you know that's the case, I'd listen. But you don't. Nobody does. Nobody's going to come to me and present that evidence because it doesn't exist. Now, is there lots of different narratives being fed into the mainstream and alternative truth realm that we inhabit? Yeah. So that you can latch on them and make yourself sound stupid. That's why. So my advice, don't talk about it unless you know something.
Exactly, Nathan.
Realise why these stories are put out there. They're put out to make you look stupid. That's what they're there for. Right, into the breaks.
Yeah, I watched the video, and it's one of those few times where I watch something and I'm like, I kind of wish I didn't see that because it looks real to me. But I mean, what do I know? It could be, it couldn't be. It sucks.
There's things that we can point out are definitely lies, definitely not real. I'll give you an example. Men travelling into a second law of thermodynamics violation sky vacuum. Why is that not real, you say? Well, because it's a violation of the law of nature we know as the second law of thermodynamics. Gas fills space. Entropic dispersion is a law of nature. So, as per the description of the second law of thermodynamics, gas fills space. So, if men are claimed to be in space, then we've got no gas to breathe. We are breathing high-pressure gas, therefore there is no area of volume that gas is not filling in violation of that law. Ergo, any man who says he's in a sky vacuum is lying. Now, it's not like there's thousands of witnesses to men in little spacesuits floating around in a sky vacuum, now is there? There's just the men and the images on TV. Not thousands of witnesses. Just their lies. I'll call them what they are, because nobody's going to witness anybody in a sky vacuum. It's a violation of natural law. They are liars, and I can call that unequivocally. So stick to what you know, and if you're going to declare it, base it on evidence that's irrefutable, like a law of nature. There's nobody who's going to come and tell me I'm wrong. No, Nathan, you're incorrect. Gas doesn't fill space. We've got gravity. Oh, really? So the pseudo-Riemannian geometry invented by a man called Einstein, where time bends, the concept of time bends, you think that holds gas in violation of natural law? Wrong. The assertions of bent pseudo-Riemannian geometric bent space-time was invented by a man called Einstein and has a concept, that's time, bending as a fourth dimension. Nonsense. A concept bending isn't going to hold gas in violation of natural law. What's that? It's actually a force of down? Oh, well, then you'll need a flat plane to describe down perpendicular to it. But that rhetoric of Newtonian forces was debunked by gas behaviour. That would be mass attracting mass. Oh, really? Is that a cloud above my head, or is that the mass of the gas moving towards the centre of Earth? No, it isn't, is it? The gas isn't attracted to Earth. Mass doesn't attract mass. It's been superseded by an invented fourth dimension bending. Yeah, you can't bend concepts, and it ain't going to hold gas in violation of a natural law that describes it dispersing. Because that's a natural law. So you're never going to overcome the facts that I use to call men who go around in space vacuums liars. They are. But as for claiming that there's thousands of witnesses to a pretend event, I've heard it too. People suggesting that, oh, well, because we've got special effects where men can have hoses run at their shirt, that means that Charlie Kirk wasn't killed. You're idiots. And if you're on my side, get lost, get out of my arena. I talk about Earth being measured flat. You talk about special effects with thousands of witnesses. You're idiots. We debunk men in sky vacuums. We describe how Earth gets measured flat always. You pretend people weren't killed. So get out of our arena if you're those people. I don't want to associate with you. You're disgusting.
Did you see the video, Nathan, of that thing taking place?
No.
Don't do it. Okay. Yeah, it's not worth it. It's still bumming me out. Like, because I've gone deer hunting and stuff, and I've seen like what happens when someone gets hit with a bullet like that. It's just not a person, but an animal, and it's just the reaction was the same. It was creepy.
But people want to talk about this because it is injected into our narrative so that we can talk crap about it. And why? Well, because we are over the target. We are the ones with the absolute unequivocal truth about how Earth gets measured. Flat. Like on screen. This would be what Fugly Dave McKeegan was measuring in Antarctica with the sun. It's called an elevation angle. Now, there isn't going to be a single soul on this plane that we dwell atop that's going to disagree with this. It's a fact. They measured Earth flat with elevation angles. They've got little numbers with a degree symbol after it. So you're going to tell me they're not measuring Earth flat? Well, then they didn't get a measurement with a degree symbol after it. They did because they measured Earth flat. So there is no contesting what I say here in regards to Earth being measured flat. What's that? Charlie Kirk wasn't really killed? Yeah, that makes me sound like a really stupid idiot, doesn't it? It kind of undermines me pointing out the absolute stone-cold fact of Earth being measured flat with this angle on screen that was measured for a 24-hour period in Antarctica. Well, other than Fugly Dave, who didn't quite manage it, he was outsmarted by a tripod. But other than Fugly Dave, who couldn't quite manage it, the rest of them managed to measure Earth flat for 24 hours with elevation angle measurements. That's measurements of Earth to the sun called an elevation angle measurement, a flat Earth prerequisite measurement of Earth. You've got two choices when I point this out. Three if you include claiming Charlie Kirk didn't die. Number one, deny that he measured Earth because you're measuring it flat, in which case you've got no measurements anymore. Or accept that Earth's measured flat because that's exactly how it's measured. That's it. Those are your choices. Better to undermine it with Charlie Kirk nonsense, right? No, I'm not going to do that.
Well, it was perfect what you said this morning because I've been bringing my sister-in-law to her job, and she's the one that I had ministered to here and there. She's married to my brother, who brought me into the topic of flat Earth. And the way you were breaking down gas pressure, Nathan, perfect. I just wish you would have gotten into that Einsteinian pseudo-Riemannian force space with the gravity while she was in the car. But the fact that you spoke about aliens and how you sense it and how we look like idiots, and that was perfect.
Well, I don't know about being perfect. I was expressing my irritation, Neil. I'm extremely frustrated with this. Like, it was... If anything, I'd prefer that I didn't know. So yesterday was a real eye-opener. I'm like, why are we censored? What's going on? It's 6 months, 8 months, 9 months since Antarctica. What's the point? Why censor us still? There's no need, right? They obviously are going to keep us around. They need us around to be ridiculed. But why the censorship? Why the most heavy censorship I've ever experienced to date? Well, because there's an alien invasion coming. Now, there was a certain number of people that were talking about this years ago, several years ago, on the Flat Earth side. And I go, how the hell did they know this was coming down the pipeline to promote it years before it came? How did they know? I don't know. It just seems very shilly to me. But someone on our own side talking about how there's going to be an alien invasion coming down the pipeline. You're like, how the hell would you know? And then here we are, us talking about Earth being measured flat and how space is fake, getting the most egregious censorship ever. And those people get promoted. And what are they talking about? Oh, what, the fakery of Charlie hoax? What? 9/11 being an inside job? What? Mandela effect? Clone centres? What? Mud floods? What? No forests? What? This is the shit that we have to put up with from our own side, making us all look like idiots. Very irritating. But the reality, now I know, is that we undermine the current rhetoric that's probably having millions pumped into bullshitting you, the general public, with. About aliens. Go on, whoever that is.
Junk food.
Can I just suggest that those spaceships would be traveling extremely fast, and if there's any movement in the ground from the level, they could crash very easily if they haven't got a good direction and measurement to get them away from the ground.
I like that in the narrative of aliens, how they're always running along the same narrative story, right? They're extremely advanced, far more advanced than us. Therefore, they can travel the vast... You've already got to the conclusion. They can travel the vast distances from an alien civilization out in a sky vacuum violation of natural law. Bullshit area that doesn't exist. And when they get here, they crash.
Well, they have to be more advanced.
Neil. Go ahead,
it's
Craig.
good timing, though. I mean, because the whole Antarctica thing that they didn't really stick. So now they're like, oh, shit. Okay, now we got to do aliens.
All it did was expose the shills. So Jaron was an egregious shill. There's a reason he was constantly opposing me when it came to talking about science and the scientific method. It undermined every single globe Earth rhetoric from 2014 onwards, where they told us, quote, science proves we're on a globe. No, that's a category error. Science establishes cause and effect based on natural phenomena through systematic experimentation based on hypothesis. That's what hypothesis is. That's what science is. It's called physics, the study of the physical and natural world. What did I get from Jaron? No. What do you mean, no? That's the scientific method. What are you talking about? No, science doesn't prove things. Yeah, Jaron was always a shill, primed to go to Antarctica to tell his audience that Earth's measured like a Home Depot. What, flat? And being in Antarctica means the azimuthal equidistant projection doesn't work. Okay? It's just a map. That's a reification fallacy debunk. Meanwhile, they all measured Earth flat in Antarctica. Did that get aired? No, we were just told that Earth gets measured like a Home Depot by a man departing the flat Earth based on his trip to Antarctica. Yeah, Jaron was always a shill. That's why he opposed me and called me a scammer. Yeah, because the people who actually punt the truth about flat Earth and how it's measured, flat, always without exception, are shouted down and cast down and called scammers by the shills who eventually came out as globers. Shout out to Duncan MacLeod. I'm so glad I don't have to worry about aliens or meteors anymore. Yeah, that's what it basically is. It boils down to fear-based mind control. If they can keep you perpetually scared that you're going to die from something coming from the sky, then they've got you. Second you stop worrying about that, then they're failing miserably to control you. So yeah, Duncan, you don't need to worry about any of that crap. You're not going to be killed by aliens. I absolutely assure you. If there are any aliens...
I was trying to...
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was trying to explain that very point to my friend. Because he was the one that told me about this about a month ago. I had no idea. He goes, dude, there's aliens coming. And I kind of broke down on, the second law of thermodynamics violation and all that. And it's like the more I tried to explain it to him, the more angrier he was getting with me. And it's just like, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, because he wants to be scared. Doesn't he?
Yeah, it's hard. It's like endorphins, you know?
Hold on, Eli. Just round
that also shows you
everyone
that
else
it's a
just
total psyops. You know, that when you get such disassociated emotional input. Sorry, my English isn't perfect. But when they get so emotional so fast and not able to hold a conversation, even just to explore the subject, that's a typical sign of psyops. Brainwashing, because it gets them mad because, how dare you oppose this narrative that everybody knows now that that's what it is. And it just, they are able to bypass reason.
Yep.
And implant these thoughts and these this way of thinking, bypassing the frontal lobe, the awareness of logical thinking.
Let me give a couple of recommendations, right? These should be mandatory for people who are listening to this show. If you want a bit of light relief, right, go and watch either George Carling or Chase Hughes. Humour coming from not Chase, from George. But Chase Hughes is currently breaking down how the media is functioning perfectly. Currently. It's working exactly how it's supposed to work. Divide and rule. Keep you in a state of perpetual fear. That's how it's designed to work. And Chase Hughes is one of the only mainstream people that I know of currently that's breaking this down in the most concise way possible. If you don't know who Chase Hughes is, he's one of the members of the behavioural panel who break down body language. But his current breakdown of how news is propaganda and how it's designed to function is perfect. It couldn't be any better. So go and check out Chase Hughes. Any of his recent videos breaks this down in terms of their exposure of how biased the media is and what it's designed to do, how it's designed to manipulate you, how it's designed to keep you in fear.
Not only that it's designed to do it, the success with which they do it. I mean, they have had many years of research to really fine-tune these techniques. And it's magnificent. There's one video by Taboo Conspiracy. I think it's in his Dallas, either the Dallas presentation or the Romania presentation, where he shows this with an example of people waiting in a waiting room at a dentist, and you know, they just if you haven't seen it, you got to see that. But the masses, they control themselves. Once you teach one individual, that individual will be able to teach an entire group to repeat a certain thought or a certain behavior. And if you haven't seen it, please go see it. It's really it's really great. And from there you can go and check out what Nathan also suggested. Without an understanding of the immense success and the immense detailed capacity with which they implement this herd mentality feeding it's the more you know about it, you'll be able to fight a little bit against it and not fall victim to it immediately.
People, like I say, they want it. People want to be scared. You described it better than I did a minute ago when you're saying that people get riled up, and because they've got riled up, they're emotionally committed to that rhetoric. And when you say, no, that rhetoric's not true, you don't need to be in fear of it. Here's why. There's the second law of thermodynamics, debunking a sky vacuum. There's not going to be any area of volume that aliens can come from. Further to that, the immense distances that are alleged for them to travel along have come from flat Earth elevation angle measurements to Polaris, converted into a ball system 500 years ago by the Roman Catholic Church. This religion of being on a ball is nothing more than a mathematized invention created by the church. We're not actually in a vast realm with millions and billions of light years of distance between all the stars. That's been invented by way of an extrapolation after flat Earth measurements. If you understand that the base measurement to make that inference of vast distances comes from a flat Earth prerequisite, you understand that it's a violation of the base measurement to suggest we've got these vast distances for the aliens to come from. When you put all that together, you understand that there aren't any aliens, and there's nothing to be scared of. But having nothing to be scared of isn't conducive with a media that wants to keep you in perpetual fear. But if you're committed to the bit, and you're already in fear, and you're going to feel slightly stupid if somebody points out that there's total unnecessary, there's no need for you to be in that fear, you're going to defend your own fear. No, I'm not stupid. I wasn't scared for no reason. It's absolutely legitimate fear. Let me tell you why I should be scared.
Yeah, that's the other reason why my buddy was getting mad, because he goes, I understand your point and what you're saying about how space is fake and the Earth. I get where you're coming from, but the fact that they're even talking about it means that they're going to fake something anyway. But then I try to explain to him, I said, if all these world governments are going to do something, there's nothing we could do about it anyway, so why worry about it? You know?
I think one of your friends was in here today.
That was into the break, but he went because I was trying to round out a point and I'm in a terrible mood, so I was probably really rude to him.
Yeah, I could tell you're in a bad mood. You yelled at me.
I'm furious.
Oh, no. I mean, this is a friend I've known personally and went to school with and, lived down the street from and was in a band with. Like, he was an actual real life friend, not a Discord person. Like,
oh, sweet.
Someone I've known since like 2005.
Well, if you're listening,
great.
My apologies. I don't mean to be so rude. I'm just in an absolutely foul mood.
Makes sense. Since he wanted to have a personal conversation with a friend, he could call on the phone. But seeing as it's just your friend, it doesn't surprise me how he came in.
Oh, here we go.
No, not on this live show. Maybe in the after show.
I'll try again. I was going to say that maybe it sounded insulting, but I knew what he was saying.
He came in like, yeah. Where's my personal friend that I could have called on the phone? I mean, come on.
Yeah, that was weird that he said I'm his personal friend. I mean, whatever. I guess he thinks I'm his friend. That's fine. I'll be his friend. I don't care.
You are. You grew up with him, you said.
Hold on. So wait a second. I'm confused because Eli's not my real friend because he's on the internet.
No, that's not what I meant, Neil. Jeepers. I consider you a friend, but we've never actually met. I mean, I know. Like, no, this kid that was telling me, but the one that told me about the aliens, he's just someone I've known in my actual life before Discord was a thing and before I knew what YouTube was. It's just someone I grew up with.
The question becomes, should we care? As we're talking about friendships, right? Let's just take it as read. We're all friends here. Eli loves Vaxi and Vaxi loves Eli and all that good stuff, right? We'll pretend for a moment that we're all friends. Given that we're all friends, should we care that the rest of society is being duped with this alien nonsense? Should we care?
Well, no. Yes and no. I try not to care, but it's hard not to at the same time.
One at a time. Vaxi first.
I said it's like a yes and no. I try not to care, but I do care because it's irritating. But at the same time, you can't control what other people are going to do or how someone's going to react to something.
Fair enough. Who else wants to answer?
Yeah, it's a entertainment factor. I don't really care. Anyway, good morning, guys. Friends.
I'm with you, Chocolate. I don't care for the people. I only care for my selfish self. I only care because it means censorship for me. So you could say, oh, well, that's very selfish. Yeah, it is.
Me and Chocolate grew up together through our communal language.
Any more on this alien subject?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just like the emphasis being put on, you got to wake these people up to flat Earth. Like, it's the same thing with the aliens. It's not, you can't save a person who literally stepped to the ledge to jump off. That's the experience that they're in the middle of a game and you're like, yo, turn that crap off. And they're like, what are you doing? That's where they're at. They want to be there.
Yeah, I agree.
So what do we do? We just keep plugging forward?
I think it's called Stockholm Syndrome, where you fall in love with your oppressor.
Yes. But what do? We just continue to say how Earth is measured flat, and everybody knew that.
I just looked it up here. Alien, belonging to, characteristic of, or constituting another and very different place. Person, strange, etc. So, looking at it from that point of view, I'd say we have more problems than just those aliens. We have problems with the aliens within our community, Well,
those are the only
uncontrolled search, just a random search on YouTube for flat Earth, and the closest you get to somebody representing actually flat Earth would be Dave Weiss, and then That's how I got into it too. But I was able to get past it and continue to search because what he was saying wasn't making much sense and not answering to my questions that I actually had and the doubts that I actually had. And it was obvious that wasn't a fair representation of somebody for flat Earth. But damn, how many pages would you have to scroll down to even see the name Nathan Oakley? And even then, all you'll find is an ad hominem attack of some bullshit artist somewhere out there, So,
just back onto
we got not only aliens from outer space or whatever, we got aliens within our own community.
Be real with yourself for a second.
Well, that's
like Nathan has given us a lot of information. We should take that. Like, this is what we gauge things on, and then maybe stop being like so irrational. Like, here's an alien craft over here in the other corner. Like, stop that shit, please.
That's what I tell my friends. Stop that, aliens. Come on, stop.
No, you're embarrassing
us. The footage they're presenting is no better than the war footage that I walked away from the news from 30 or 40 years ago now. Man, it seems like a long time, and it is. But back in the day when I was seeing footage claiming to show entire towns get obliterated, and you're like, what you're showing me is grainy black and white footage through a viewfinder that you're alleging, and I can't make out anything in this crap, but you're saying that that's the laser-guided missile destroying an entire town, is it? According to this news report, yes. So you go, okay, I don't believe this. It's because it's so unbelievable. It's not showing me what you're telling me it's showing me. It's only because there's words alongside it that I'm associating what you're saying is with what's on screen in black and white, grainy, crappy imagery. Well, what are they showing you for aliens? Apparently they fired a missile at an alien craft and it just bounced off. And what's the standard we've got for this? Grainy, black and white, indistinguishable, shitty footage. You're like, really? So based on a verbalization of it, you're going to accept that. It's akin to when people used to say that playing a record backwards contains satanic imagery, satanic wording. So you play the record backwards, and it just sounds like gobbledygook. But if you put subtle subtitles underneath it that say, "All hail Satan, I will kill all people," then suddenly you hear that in the garbage that's being played backwards. But only if the subtitles underneath it. But if you can do the same thing with crappy, grainy, black and white images, you can say that's an alien spaceship. Is it? I just see a little grainy black and white dot moving along and then another dot coming to it. And everything else in this massive image, the 3 or 4 pixels of light that you say is an alien spaceship, being completely indistinguishable from everything around it. But that's it. That's what you say is the evidence for this shit. No. Anybody with an ounce of discernment would look at it and go, that's not good enough. What I want, given it's 2025, is 8K footage of it. I want 8K footage of that spaceship. You haven't got any? Oh, it's akin to the Bigfoot footage, is it? It's only in 240p that we get to see this stuff. 240p grainy is all hell footage of Bigfoot, and 240p grainy footage of an alien craft. No, not good enough. Give it me in ultra widescreen 8K, or I'm not accepting it.
Is there even a single cell phone out there that still does 240p?
They all do.
The thing is, it enrages me that you still believe in these absurd, goofy lies. Like, what is wrong with your brain?
Yeah, we're in a world of 8K footage and 8K photography, and people will accept the lowest resolution images in black and white. Black and white. It's like it's black and white. Is it the 50s, or have we got high-resolution 8K cameras these days? You telling me you can't capture one with 8K footage? Well, then you're useless. You call yourselves a news outlet. Of course, me saying this undermines at its core what they're showing you. When I point out, no, we've got 8K cameras. You'd think they could get better footage, but they don't. You're relying on this 144p crap in black and white, like it's from the 50s. Now that I say it, do you feel a bit stupid? Yeah, that's why we've got to be censored.
I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah, I want to be able to.
People running around believing that
I think he
somebody
does
took
feel a
dune
little bit
buggy to the
stupid.
moon.
Yeah, I want to be like Will Smith in Independence Day. You know, I want to be able to zoom in and shoot a rocket launcher directly at the pimple on the booty of an alien. You know what I'm saying? Like all this other stuff is nonsense.
Yeah, the same teams of people.
I'm playing Call of Duty. I can't tell what's real or fake. And when we're looking at NASA stuff, it's all Atari. What's going on?
We have got currently in the same vein, in the same rhetoric, amongst the same stories, NASA are claiming that they've seen city lights on a planet light years away. And they've got this in high resolution colour photography. Now that's bullshit.
Right, I
too.
saw that. That's ridiculous. That is great, man.
So on the one hand, we've got pictures of lights on a planet light years away in high def, but yet on the ground we've got black and white 144p imagery. Do you not see the disconnect? No? No, until I said it. Yeah, but I'm not being heard, am I? How many people are currently watching this? 69 people, less than 100 people watching.
Yeah, thousands of people know that you're a fraud guy. Like, what are you doing? What are you trying to do here? Like, what are you trying to prove?
There's nothing to prove when I just describe how it is. On the one hand, from the same institutes and the same media outlets, high-res imagery from miles and miles and light years away. On the other hand, we've got low-def pictures that have come from ground level. Those are just facts. I know you were saying it in the facetious reverse, but yes.
No, I'm just wanting a rebuttal. Like, where does he think he is? Place himself down on that map. Like, where does he think he is?
Who's he?
Whoever was bringing the hate.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't either. Sorry.
Vax. I'm so glad that you're still alive, brother. I'm glad to have everybody here in the same place, and it's like we can just take solace in knowing like we were right.
Yeah,
I'm glad I'm alive too.
I'm glad you're alive too, Vax.
I'm glad everybody's alive. That's dope.
Well, not everybody's alive. Some people are dead.
I mean, everyone currently part of the show. Thank you.
Fair enough.
He said, "I'm glad."
Yes, sir.
I mean, if we're part of the show, it's safe to say that we're alive at least an hour or so ago.
Let's just check. You still with us, Neil?
Can I ask a question? Because I haven't looked at any of this nonsense. The thing you're describing, hey, Geographic, hey, everyone. The thing you're describing, Nathan, is that the thing everyone is talking about? This 31 Atlas, this spaceship thing.
Yes, that's claimed craft that's coming around. So.
And it's black and white, like grainy footage.
Yes.
That tells you how desperate the minds of the public are. That they latch onto this complete and utter rubbish. Because yeah.
Well, you guys remember that thing that they discovered a couple years ago?
One second. Just talk.
Oh, sorry.
Brian, you remember we still live in a world where people believe that the grainy footage of what they call the moon landings, where people supposedly took a dune buggy to the moon, people still believe that.
Yeah, but it seems to me that they're actually accepting even less quality now.
Correct.
Correct. They decided to start accepting even worse quality.
Go ahead,
Right.
Vaccine. Go ahead, Vaccine, and I'll just.
Well, yeah, you guys remember, but it may have been longer than I think. It may have been closer to a decade ago. But remember that turd that they found floating? It looked like a big cigar, and it was called like Okamano Nui, or it had some weird Hawaiian name. And it was like a big oblong rock that they found that they said was like the furthest thing that's ever come to our area. Huh?
Oumuamua.
Well, anyway,
Something like that.
yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. The same guy that claimed to discover that, who originally tried saying that could have been an alien, is also the same guy. His name's Ari Loeb. He's the head of astronomy in Harvard. He's the same one pushing this new nonsense. I think that's just like his
Yeah,
hobby. Every couple of years, he'll find
It's
something
just
and
a
claim it's an
joke.
alien.
It's just a joke. You're not supposed to believe in it. It's like this is some hippie weirdo's prescription for life. That's it.
Like I said, dude, I believe in aliens because they personally affected me. My favorite
You
Mexican
believe in
restaurant
aliens that affected you?
Yes, my favorite Mexican restaurants temporarily closed because they took all the aliens away.
Because
yeah, well, that leads us nicely. Right, hold on. Let me just
You're
summarize
crazy,
that.
dude. I like that.
Okay, aliens, as was defined earlier by Mickey Mess, are people who are different to ourselves. And in terms of the discoveries of new worlds, that's real. In our recent history, new worlds were discovered. They just weren't discovered up. They were discovered out towards the horizon and then mapped and charted and surveyed flat. And they had aliens on them. So if there are any aliens, guess where they'll be found? That way, out towards the horizon. If there are more lands, new worlds as they used to be called, like third world countries. Sound familiar? That's what they used to be called, new worlds. Then that got hijacked, and now new worlds are lights in the sky based on flat Earth measurements converted into heliocentric vast light year distances. Garbage, inconducive with the actual measurements of Earth that are flat. And that's how Earth's measured. So the aliens from the sky are garbage. But we may very well find other people with different colour skin on a new world, aka different continent, yet to be discovered. Exactly as can be shown in recent history to have actually occurred. We did find new worlds, we did find aliens, then we changed the terminology. It wasn't conducive with a heliocentric worldview to describe the new worlds as new worlds. So we stopped calling them third world countries and started calling them underdeveloped countries. So that people didn't think about them being new worlds.
So what happens when the invaders come and invade your country? What are you going to do then?
Twice interrupting me.
How are you going to
Without the
define
aliens invading aliens?
Yeah, aliens came and invaded your country. So what do you call it?
Just that. That's
Poor
what it is.
border security.
That's what it is. But those aliens have come from
Anyway, moving on.
Horizontally, not vertically.
Brian, you should know what we're talking about. Brian, you're just gonna give it up.
An invasion.
Give up your country.
Yeah.
You're just gonna give your country up, Brian.
That's what we call it. That's what they call it, and it's called an invasion.
It's an invasion. Yes, it is. That's why that's why it's like Nathan's trying to call it like a peaceful, like aliens coming from another world over across the horizon, and it's like no, it's just an invasion. Like you don't need to pretend like it's anything other than it is.
I'm not trying to summarise it in terms of the way that people behaved. That's not what I'm doing. I'm saying we did find new worlds. That's just a fact. I'm not trying to politicise it into how those people behave or how we behave towards them. We found new worlds out towards the horizon. That's it. That's just a fact.
No, actually, the civilized humanity like discovered that there was like low IQ, like ape species out there, and then they brought them in to try to take care of them because we have a Christian society and we want to spread Christianity to the low IQ
species.
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know. Look.
You know what I'm talking about. What do you think I'm talking about?
I'm talking
I mean,
geographically, and you're
he
talking.
heard something
Stop
that
a sec.
Nathan didn't
Stop.
say,
Hello.
just like his friend.
It's not.
Yeah, there's a
We're not
couple
talking.
of fellas here.
Hello. We're not talking about socially. We're talking geographically, not socially.
And we're talking about a couple of fellas here, right, Brian?
Yeah, who've been up all night drinking liquor, I think.
Brian, you know what's happened to your country.
No, don't blame it on that. No, come on. Yeah, I don't know why y'all keep giving it the benefit of the doubt.
Well, I didn't give it the benefit of the doubt now, to be honest. I just stated it.
So it's not one fraud-looking fraud who isn't a fraud. It's two fraud-looking non-frauds. Because they're drunk.
That doesn't mean that doesn't mean.
Eli, Eli, you should know. You run into them in 24/7. How many times? All night sometimes. You get the drunken stumble bums that come in and want to talk about hot pockets and freaking Antarctica. Well, all the people that were assassinated, things like that. This is flat Earth debate here. We discuss reality.
Yeah, and in reality, we ventured out beyond the horizon and found new worlds. That's just the fact of the matter. Those new worlds were redefined from new worlds to underdeveloped countries so that it wasn't so charged in terms of the meaning of finding new worlds. But that's geographical, not social.
Yeah, I think I live in one of them.
Yeah.
No, Sopranos is a real cherished, it's one of the great sitcoms of the humanity. Like there's very few sitcoms that even exist that are as good, right? And anyway,
Christopher.
So Nathan, what would you say? Would you say people are actually so desperate now? Would you agree that they're accepting worse quality footage than they were in the late 60s?
Yeah, I've seen it whilst doom scrolling. So I watch people moan when they come across videos of creatures in the forest. And the video will be, again, 240p, crap of all quality, black and white footage of a man seeing a long-limbed creature come from the tree line towards him. And then the camera sees it for a split second, and then you hear the guy turning around with the camera waving all over the place, screaming. And then underneath that video, you'll have a load of skeptics going, well, that's very Bigfoot-esque footage, isn't it? Ha, ha, ha. Why is it always the case that we get these monsters from the tree line in the lowest possible footage in 2025? Lowest possible quality. Yeah? Next bit of footage whilst doom scrolling. Check out this missile bouncing off an alien craft. This is worse footage than the stuff that people were criticising for being Bigfoot-esque. But you'll swallow it whole because the government tell you.
Have you seen the long legs?
What? It's the fourth time you've interrupted me into the break. Stop doing that.
Oh, my bad.
The fourth time.
Yeah, stop pretending you're not
trying to irritate me. Stop doing it.
Yeah, stop trolling us. We don't need you. We don't need your trolling. If you have nothing good, just shut up.
Go ahead, Nathan.
So the same people who will criticise the crap footage that's alleging that we've got monsters coming from the tree line will swallow whole every bit of black and white crap in the lowest possible grainy footage where you literally cannot make anything out. Oh, yeah, we've got aliens coming to get us. Really? No, I want 8K footage of it.
It shouldn't be hard to get either. If it's real, right?
Should be easy.
I noticed that too. Would you believe it or not, Nathan? Right. It's funny you're saying this because I just remembered. Within the past couple of weeks, I saw some guy doing a breakdown of the Patterson Gimblin Bigfoot footage from the late 60s. You know that one I'm on about?
I don't, but carry on.
Well, you know that famous footage of a Bigfoot across a river walking along? It's the most clear, clean footage of Bigfoot. Anyway, the point I'm making is I went in and read some of the comments. And there was these guys being complete a-holes in the comments, being real smart asses. Oh, right. One guy tried to say, right, and this I had to leave a few comments. One guy was trying to say this. Through the use of LiDAR, we know that there was a man in a costume who was about 5 foot tall, right? Right. So using LiDAR, he can measure the height of somebody from the 60s. Like, no, you're completely like this fellow was just like a bowler, right? Some of these fellas. And I went in and I just asked some straight questions. So I just went, well, in that case, then if right, I first of all I said no, LiDAR can't do that. You're talking rubbish. And then I said, if I'm not claiming either way, but if people are claiming that this is all being debunked and blah blah blah, then you'll be able to replicate the footage, right? Because nobody has ever been. I will have to say, nobody has ever been able to replicate the footage. And there was all these people in there lying as well, saying that the best in Hollywood think it's a joke and all the rest of it. When they don't, the Hollywood's number one special effects artist only a couple of years ago, I think it was 2018 or 19, said that he wasn't able to replicate it. Right? So something's amiss, right? They're not claiming Bigfoot's real, but I'm saying that they can't replicate that footage from 1967. Now, the point being is that I'm getting to you is there was a load of these smart asses in there trying to be like the pollers, trying to throw bullshit as if being really condescending and arrogant to the other people in there. And I put about 5 of them. I left comments and some of them replied, and I just put them all in their place. They just all shut up. None of them replied back because I wasn't putting up with their crap. I wasn't like everyone else in there because I just knew the mentality I was dealing with. But I guarantee you, these exact people would swallow that bullshit that you're talking about. Those exact people would be swallowing that grainy black and white footage. I guarantee you they would be. Because they want to be talking about how Bigfoot's a heap of rubbish, right? But they'll absolutely take that as proof of alien life.
Yep.
Those type of people.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine telling someone, Nathan, the height of somebody, right, or something in 1967 because someone used LiDAR in 2024 or whatever. Like, what level of lies are you used to using and getting away with? It's LiDAR, not magic.
Yeah, Baxi.
It's about who's furnishing the grainy black and white footage. It's not just coming from some fat slob in the woods. It's coming from the government, right? So that's why people buy it.
Precisely. So I was trying to summarize that earlier when I'm saying in the 70s is summarized by Men in Black. So in the first Men in Black, you've got the 2 characters discussing the kooks from the 70s and saying, you know how you used to have people describing being beamed up to a mothership to have medical procedures done on them by aliens, and how they are on the front cover of the Star newspaper, and how everybody saw them as idiots? Well, consider them all true. We had to ridicule them to suppress the truth, right? That's the Men in Black narrative. That is to say, up until a point, it is accepted that anybody punting the idea that they've been kidnapped by aliens are kooky and idiotic and worthy of ridicule. Fast forward to when the government says the same thing, and of course it's true, the government are saying it. And they've got black and white footage, of course it's true. You're like, really? So because your overlords have said it, it's true? Wow, what a turnaround in mere 50 years. The complete polar opposite of what the government told you to ridicule is now being punted by them, therefore acceptable. You're idiots. The public are idiots.
You remember, one thing that stood out for me in 2015, when I was listening to Eric Dubay, he said something that so many people were thinking, so many, and including me, and were angry about, right? Was that all of these people who claim to see all this stuff and can see off out into this heliocentric aerospace, right, at these observatories, right? No normal people are allowed to go to these places like, and have a look at what they claim to be seeing. Like, you can't just phone up and have a look. Do you know what I mean? It's like all security and everything else. I'm not saying nobody can go, but they make it very difficult. Like, because a lot of these places are in obscure locations, and like you could place them, closer to cities where people could go, but they don't. They place them in obscure locations, and nobody's welcome to come along there. Like, you don't hear about bus loads of kids on a school like a school trip going there and having a look. You don't hear about that. Or if they do, they show them a load of nonsense and they don't get to actually look through the claimed apparatuses that they're looking through. That doesn't happen. Like, what is the chances of you being able to go and look through the ones in the UK? Like, are they just going to let you? Well, I just phoned up there. I want to have a look through that thing that you're looking at through to see out in this outer space. Nah, you won't get to see it.
Well, it's interesting you should say that. That was one of my first experiences, like the first year in this subject. So a guy I used to live with called Robbie, he was actually a tutor at the college I was at, and he was also a housemate. But he approached me many years later when I started talking about flat Earth. And at the time, I was talking about the moon landing being fake. And his exact words to me were, I have seen the moon landing site, the lunar rover, with my own eyes from Goonhilly, which is an observatory here in the UK. And I immediately called him and said, no, you didn't. You can't. He said, yeah, I did. We went on a school trip and they showed us via the telescope the site where they landed, and we got to look at the lunar rover on the monitors. Like, oh, really? That's really interesting. I'd like to do the same. So I got in touch with Goonhilly and said, I would like to do as my friend did on his school trip and look at the lunar rover with my naked eye through your telescope, please. And the guy got back in touch and said, not only can you not see the lunar rover from Goonhilly, even if you turned Hubble to the moon, the angular size is too small to see the lunar rover via Hubble. So no, you will never see the landing site from Goonhilly. So I went back to Robbie and said, here you go, Goonhilly's own words, it's not possible, you're mistaken. And he was aghast. Why? Because he's got a memory of being shown it on a TV monitor whilst there. And what are they telling him when he's a little kid? This is the moon landing site. We can see it through our telescope. Lying bastards. No, you can't. But that's what they told the kids on the school trip. Look, you can see it. Believe us, we definitely went to the moon. We can see the little rover on it through our telescope. Have a look at this TV screen. Do you see the rover? Yeah? That's us looking at it through the... No, they weren't. But they're more than content to lie to little kids on school trips so that they believe as growing up that they've seen the lunar rover with their own eyes when they saw it on a TV monitor, so that when someone like me comes along and says, it's bullshit, there is no moon landing, space is fake. No, it's not, I've seen it, I went to Goonhilly.
Exactly.
What a joke.
They showed them kids the moon set on a television screen.
Yep.
I told them, this is what we're seeing. And the kids went, wow, right? What brilliant things. And then your friend that you lived with had it in his head that he looked through a telescope and saw it. That was his memory of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Absolute liars.
He couldn't quite believe it. He couldn't fricking believe his ears when I went back to him with the email from Goonhilly saying, here's the maths. I hadn't done it. The guy had done it for me. Here's the angular size of the lander. Here's the optical resolution and Rayleigh criterion for Hubble. It's too small. You'll never see it even from Hubble. So I present him to this and he couldn't fricking believe it. He's like, but I saw it. They showed it me. Oh, they must have changed the telescope. He started justifying it.
Well, what do you expect him to do?
Well, in his head, his the options are as follows. One, that they either completely lied to them, right? Or two, that they're lying now, but they did show it to them back then. Right? What one will you pick? What one would most of these people pick? They
The
pick
second
number two,
one.
wouldn't they?
The second one, if you've been shown on a screen and you've got a fundamental memory formed as a child of seeing the moon lander, and it's part of your religion of being on a ball flying through space, and you wholeheartedly believe you're on a sky vacuum based ball, then you're going to believe that no, the rhetoric's changed. I did see the moon lander, and now they're lying. Previously, I got shown it on the TV screen.
Or just claim it's the Mandela effect.
Exactly.
Oh, stop with that.
But no, but that's exactly it. Well, he's right. That's where you get those sorts of rhetorics inserted into flat earthers' rhetorics. So we say it and sound stupid when we do so.
Oh, okay, I got you. Sorry about that. I noticed something else too, and we've noticed it before, that a lot of people, they won't come here, but they'll go elsewhere. They're a supposed flat earth, server, and they'll spew their nonsense there. Recently, we've had Buck Sodbuster coming in with all of this nonsense, right? But he won't come in the show and have a face-to-face or voice-to-voice, whatever you want to call it. But I see him in Earth Awakenings yesterday, and I even took a screenshot of him. So why are you not coming here?
Buck Sidebuster? What?
Buck Sodbuster, the pitch data blower. He's the one that gave Brian the pitch data. So now he won't come on. He'll send me chocolate. I kid you not. I have over 100 messages in Discord. All throughout the show, he'll be sending me messages. So I said, I'm done. That's it. It's over. He even sent me a $30 gift card. I guess he's paying me to read the messages. But I said, I'm done. I want you on the show. You know how to do it. Get on the link and join the show. Doesn't do those things, but I've seen him in Earth Awakenings. Why is that?
I don't know. Who cares? Why'd you care about
Earth Awakening is less intimidating.
Exactly.
Yeah, honestly,
who cares?
Yeah, who cares? No offense
Well,
to you,
listen. If I want to take the champ down, I'm not going to go fight somebody else. I'm going right to the champ. What the hell you doing? All these preliminary fights, warming up.
Like I said, some people like the ballet, some people like UFC. Right? Everybody's got their own bag.
Your mic is terrible, chocolate. And I know my mic is right now.
So's you, Brian. So's yours.
So you got Danny
can't even understand me saying this.
I understand you, Brian, but let's make the comparison. You got Danny Faulkner. He went over there. He came here for a few seconds, and it was like pulling peace. And when Adam had him pinned against the wall, he had to go to lunch, right? And now you got Buck Sodbuster, the pitch data blower, but he won't step foot in this arena called FED.
I would suggest to you that eventually Danny Faulkner will be talking to me personally. I don't want to give too much away. I can see into the future.
I read you loud and clear, Nathan.
I anticipate Danny Faulkner and I talking in the not too distant future.
Yeah, because of the book.
Not necessarily because of the book, although he has specifically said he'd like to talk to me about it.
There you go.
Sweet.
That's because of an instigator, not because of Danny Faulkner. One of his contributors, who's also been very generous to me, I might add. One of the, how did I describe him earlier? Good people from the community. He's one of them. A supporter of Answers in Genesis, financially contributing tens of thousands of dollars. He is all over Danny Faulkner going, you really need to talk to this Nathan Oakley guy.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
that's it. When you get pressure from your own side, then you got to respond.
Yeah. And it's not like this is just dude. This is, like I say, this is a dude that's dumped tens of thousands of dollars into their cause.
It's not because Nathan has a soft spot for Faulkner. So he's going to give him a total
you're not wrong.
softball interview.
Nathan will not hold
let me
back,
just give
trust
Brian
me.
credit. Let me just give Brian credit. No, you're not wrong. This guy has picked up on that. Yeah, he's picked up on the fact that I tend to be a little bit more sympathetic to Faulkner. And when he's been on the show, I've shut it all down and made sure he's got as much time as he wanted. I've left the long silences. In other words, you could call me a Danny Faulkner sympathiser. But he's picked up on that and gone, I reckon I can leverage that. That might be useful. And then he's taken that fact of me being sympathetic towards Danny Faulkner and run with it. And he's getting somewhere.
That's good, because then it all worked together for good. That whole encounter, as short as it was, as painful as it was, but that worked out into our benefit. Well done.
I don't see Danny Faulkner as a bad guy. A lot of the people on the Globe side I actually think are bad people. I just don't have the same attitude towards Danny Faulkner.
Nathan, he's a lying sack of shit, Nathan.
Here we go. Anyway.
Who uses the scriptures as his own personal freaking playground, okay? I could tolerate a few things, but I can't tolerate that. I can't tolerate when something's written in black and white and you say, oh, no, well, what really happened there was God stopped the earth from rotating. When it clearly states that Joshua bid the sun to stand still in the sky by the power of God, and there has not been another day like it ever. And he's going to tell me something different. I cannot tolerate that.
Fair enough. That's your grievance with him and his use of the Bible. Fair enough.
Well, good luck with him.
Well, he's got power of influence over a huge group of people. So for me, it's beneficial to be discussing things with him. That's my attitude towards it, and I'm not going to change that attitude. Not in a hurry, anyway. Anyway, I've got an edited video that I want to play. So for the last 10 minutes of the live stream, I'm just going to play out an edited video that I've made, mainly because it was part of yesterday's show, but buried in a 4-hour live stream at about the 2-hour and 20-minute mark. So if you do want to listen to it unedited in the context of a live stream, feel free to check out yesterday's live stream at about the 2-hour, 20-minute mark. And prior, maybe 2 hours, 15. And it went on for about 25 minutes. But it's been hacked down to about 12 by me. And I'm going to play that out before we round out this live stream. So is there anything anyone wants to add before I do that?
Hit play.
So here we go.
All right, so you want the height, you want to work out the height. Okay, so here's the height.
Old school.
This is the height that we need, h, okay? Yep. We're close enough to the shot that the Earth can be flat.
Gotcha.
So now...
Oh, yeah. I'm happy to assume that.
Measure that angle.
Aye.
And then we'll go a little bit further away, and we'll measure it again.
But what, now the mainstream narrative of Al-Biruni changes because Captain Edgeware's apparently done 24 hours of research if we're to take his lies as being true. Oh, you didn't know who he was, but 24 hours later you know that thousands of years have got errors accounted for. No, they haven't. You're a liar. I should really give a trigger warning. There is going to be potentially some swearing in this. I can't remember if I edited out the swearing or not. So if you've got sensitive ears listening, there might be some swearing in this. You're lying about the errors in the story of Al-Biruni. There are no documented errors. He just gets the height by measuring Earth flat. That's the story for thousands of years. But you, a lying bastard, flies in the face of that rhetoric because it goes against your belief in a ball when Al-Biruni's actually measuring Earth flat. So suddenly there's errors. Not according to your, not my, story of Al-Biruni, the man you denied knowing 24 hours ago, become bag.
Well, it's worse than that because he's admitted that if you use trigonometry on a sphere, there will be errors. You will incur an error. Now, the trigonometry is used all the time by surveyors through mountain ranges, through huge areas of the world. It's constantly used. It's being used for every part of the world that's been surveyed, which is every part of the known, land masses. Right? Trigonometry is being used, but they don't. Where are the errors?
Oh, so what he's saying is, if we are to take Al-Biruni's story as true, he didn't get accurate measurements for a ball at all. So it's the hard place then. Al-Biruni got errors not according to the story of him measuring Earth flat that's gone around for thousands of years, but according to you, he didn't accurately measure Earth at all. Yeah, that's according to you, though, Edgewise. That's rhetorical. It's rhetorical. That's according to you, though, Ed. I'm summarising your dumbass, fucktard, lying bastard points. No, that's not the official rhetoric. Just according to you, he couldn't have measured Earth accurately, according to you, because of errors. So you want to relinquish Al-Biruni's measurements of Earth because you're a glurf, scumbag, lying, disingenuous wanker. Yeah, you want to deny your own measurements. Yeah, we know that. It's called the hard place. It's so common that we've defined this position you find yourself in, Captain Edgewise, where you now deny your own bleeding measurements as being inaccurate. So you don't have any accurate measurements. Yeah. Meanwhile, the accuracy of Al-Biruni's measurements are irrelevant because he's measuring Earth flat for the process to take place at all. So Earth's measured flat.
We're close enough to the shot that the Earth can be flat.
The implications of what he's saying would mean that the measurements of Mount Everest from Kathmandu Valley, about 100 miles away, that would mean that the angular size of Mount Everest is not matching the horizontal distance to it, because he's saying there's actually a curved distance.
Oh, I see.
That would mean that Mount Everest is not the height they say it is.
I see. So what Captain Edgewise is doing in order to retain his globe faith is pissing in the face of every land survey that's ever taken place ever, rather than accepting that Al-Biruni measures Earth flat. He'd rather piss away every single measurement of Earth's surface ever as being inaccurate. No, Captain Edgewise, you've just got to lie to Glurf. We've defined this position. It's called the hard place, where you deny your own measurements rather than concede how flat Earth must be for them to be called accurate. That's to say, for trig to take place, it must be flat. If it isn't, then you don't have any measurements. They don't have any measurements then. They're flawed, inaccurate, says you. Good job we've got thousands of years of documented facts of flat Earth measurements, and you're an insignificant twat. Otherwise, this would have some consequence. The words you say, you stupid retard, have no consequence here, or ever. We just have thousands of years of documented flat Earth measurements by Al-Biruni, Captain Edgewise. You were unaware 24 hours ago. Now I've told you 13 times. Earth got measured flat whether you fucking like it or not.
Check the educational channel for a source of errors.
So it's wrong. Errors. So Al-Biruni was wrong about radius then. Says you, not the official rhetoric of Earth being measured flat for trig to take place to accurately measure the height. No, according to you, no globe Earth measurements, all inaccurate, riddled with errors then. So you don't have any Earth measurements then? No radius value then? Al-Biruni was wrong. Why isn't that documented in any official story for the last 1,000 years then? Tell me that. Why isn't that in any of the 1,000 years worth of documented stories about Al-Biruni?
Because everyone else knows it's
But no one else noticed? Oh, you're a fucking genius! It's only Edgewise who noticed that for thousands of years, Biruni's documented flat Earth measurements were wrong. So it's only you that knows that the globe measurements are wrong.
against Rom, and we didn't say that.
Right, the inaccurate measurements are riddled with errors, says you. So it's only you that knows that globe measurements are riddled with errors then, Captain Edgewise.
Didn't say that.
So you didn't say that they're riddled with errors, so you appreciate and understand that there are no errors when he measured Earth flat for trig then?
Okay. Can you measure an angle?
So you're asking me a question. So you know there's no errors when he measured Earth flat for trig then?
Okay, then man, make a statement. Don't ask a question. You can't.
It's a question. It requires a yes or no answer. No statements will be accepted. A yes or no only will be accepted. So you know there's no errors, contrary to your last statements. Lying glurf scum. There's no errors then. I'm straw-manning you when I suggest that you know you don't have any accurate Earth measurements for your ball then, because that's what you've said. You actually are being straw-manned and you know he was accurate when he measured Earth flat for trig then. That got your tongue, bitch. What's wrong with you?
So the official radius value is not matching Alberuni's reported value. So where's the source of error?
So who's Alberuni?
Yeah, what error? What number did he get? Who is he? You need to know.
Depending on the source, 1%. Other sources claim it's probably not 1%.
What did Al-Biruni claim?
To do with trigonometry.
What did Al-Biruni claim? Did he measure trig accurately or not with trig? Cat got your tongue, bitch!
Trig? Yes. Did
He
measure
did. So he
accurately,
measured
100%?
accurately with
No.
trig. Yes, I heard yes.
No.
So he did not measure Earth accurately then. He did not use trig because it was not flat for trig, says you. Correct?
He didn't even include a refraction, so he was...
Sorry, he didn't use trig. He didn't use trig.
He used trig.
So he measured Earth flat then with trig because that's a flat baseline for a flat triangle. So you understand and appreciate that he did measure Earth flat then?
Yeah, because it was...
Yeah, because... Yeah, so he measured Earth flat then. Cat got your tongue, bitch.
He didn't measure Earth flat.
You just said he did 30 seconds ago. Yeah, he did measure Earth flat with trig.
No, it's not.
So he didn't measure Earth flat with trig.
Shot that the Earth could be flat.
So the thousands of years of documented suggestions of trig, no, they're documented as him using trig and horizontal distance measurement, Captain Edgewise. It's amazing that you, with only 24 hours of research, could be so wrong about this. Shocking. Let me educate you, Captain Edgewise, while you chant through me. It's okay, you don't need to chant through me. I'm going to educate you, dumbass. You've only done 24 hours of research on it. I've done 10 years. He measured Earth flat with trig, Captain Edgewise. Did you not know that? Did your 24 hours of research not show you the trig he used? You dumb?
Yeah,
Did you not see the trig?
Method.
Did you not see the trig? It's been documented for thousands of years, you spastic.
He had no other method than this.
So he could only measure Earth flat then?
That's not measuring flat.
So when he took a horizontal distance measurement, you're saying that the trig with straight flat triangle bases isn't straight and flat triangle bases then?
Yeah, ideally not on Earth sphere.
Clearly not. No, clearly, definitely correct according to the rhetoric of Al-Biruni. He measured Earth flat to do trig. You're saying he didn't because you're a fucking lying retard.
So did he...
Why are you asking me something? You don't seem to want to acknowledge that he measured Earth flat with trig. You're saying he didn't. That's incorrect, Captain Edgewise. You're just wrong.
You accepting Alberuni?
I'm not asking you to tell me what I'm accepting. I know what he measured. He measured Earth flat to do trig.
And you don't think...
Stuttery, bitch! Yeah, that's right, you stuttery little bitch. He measured Earth flat to do trig. Do you understand now? I'm telling you. Told you 14 times.
Yeah. And you're
Yeah. So he measured Earth flat to do trig. It's the only way he can measure to do trig.
And he probably was not aware of what you're saying.
Sorry, you're denying thousands of years of globe Earth rhetoric then? So you want to deny the thousands of years? Oh, he's just run like a coward bitch. Yeah, he knows he's fucked, so he has to run.
We're close enough to the shot that the Earth could be flat. And then we'll go a little bit further away and we'll measure it again.
That's it. Here's a different example on screen now. The Greeks all knew it was flat too. They measured it with sticks and shadows flat. Same principle, elevation angle measurements with respect to a flat planar surface. It's the only way it can be done. So for thousands of years, Earth was measured flat. Al-Biruni's just one example. The well in Alexandria and the shadow in Cyan is another example of Earth being measured flat as depicted on screen. If it isn't flat, then you haven't got a measurement. We call this the rock and the hard place. Either you accept this measurement as a flat Earth measurement, it's the only way it can be an elevation angle. If it isn't, then you haven't got an angle. Or you can deny your thousands of years of claim to be globe measurements that require, axiomatically, Earth to be measured flat. Because that's how Earth's measured. Now, when dickheads, that's globe believers, lying scum glurfs come here, They find themselves in this awkward position where they either accept that Earth gets measured flat, like this on screen, or they don't. Now, I don't mind which you pick. You can deny your own measurements and say, nah, this measurement on screen doesn't work. So you don't have any globe measurements then. Oh, no, this measurement on screen does work. Well, then Earth's being measured flat then. That was the position that Captain Edgewise found himself in. Either accepting that Earth's measured flat because it is, for his globe belief, or not.
Once you hear the word measurement, you know they cannot be talking about a globe.
No, to do trig, Earth can only be measured flat. And you can say, oh, well, it's inaccurate. Oh, right, so your globe measurements aren't accurate then. Oh, no, they are. Well, then you've measured Earth flat. Again, you don't have to like the awkward position of the rock and the hard place. It's either accepted as on screen, that's a flat Earth prerequisite elevation angle measurement. It's like you don't like that it's a flat Earth that must be used to get this angle. Tough luck. Earth's measured flat. And has been for thousands of years. Here's another example. This is akin to an elevation angle measurement to the sun, like fugly Dave McKeegan made in Antarctica. I say he made it, didn't he? He failed miserably. He was outsmarted by a tripod. But had Dave McKeegan not been outsmarted by a tripod, he'd be measuring this on screen. It's called an elevation angle measurement to the sun. Now, McToon managed it for a full 24 hours because he's less stupid than Dave. Managed to measure Earth flat with elevation angles, that is. Earth's always measured flat. There are no exceptions.
Stop deflecting with measurements, Nathan. What's wrong with you?
I should be talking about guns, really. When I point out that this angle measurement on screen is a prerequisite to have a little degree after a number. If it isn't a flat Earth being measured, then you haven't got any measurements. What's that? I should be talking about the guns? Nah, I'll talk about the measurements they made in Antarctica. They were all flat. They all took 24 hours out of their life to measure Earth flat. Well, I say all of them. Fugly moron Dave McKeegan didn't manage it. He's a spastic. He couldn't quite cope with using a tripod correctly. So he failed miserably as a retard who couldn't quite measure Earth flat for the full 24 hours. But fortunately, there were less stupid people there like McToon. Just slightly less stupid than fugly Dave McKeegan, who did manage to measure Earth flat for the full 24 hours. Here's a diagrammatical example of the flat Earth measurement they made there. It's called an elevation angle. If they want to deny that Earth's being measured flat, then they don't have an angle. Or they can accept that Earth's being measured flat for their measurement, which it absolutely, without question, is. What's that, you say? Where are the guns? Yeah, you'd need to deflect to guns when I'm pointing out that you're measuring Earth flat for a full 24 hours. Unless your name's Fugly Dave McKeegan, then you couldn't manage it.
I think he expected you to bite on that, and you didn't. That's why he started screaming into the Arctic freeze, if that's where they were.
Yeah, he started screaming my frickin' name into the snow when I pointed out, quote, you measure Earth flat, Toon, while he was measuring it.
Just on what that guy yesterday, Captain Edge, was saying, but I couldn't hear him properly yesterday because he was so low. So I heard a bit more what he was saying there. And he was trying to infer that there is claimed inaccuracies with Al-Biruni with the claimed nowadays or officially accepted radius, right? Well, there is no radius measurement. Al-Biruni was the claimed measurement, right? That never happened, right? There was no measurement ever happened, so there can't be a measurement now and a measurement back then, and the one now is a little bit more accurate than the one back then because there wasn't any, right? But what he was trying to do was infer, right? And this is what I thought he was doing, but you were going so hard with him that I just kept out of it. I couldn't hear him correctly. He was trying to infer that the inaccuracies the small inaccuracies they claim now, like this, the 3% out, I'll bring the 3% out from the officially accepted figure. No, this kind of rubbish, right? 3% out from nothing. What he was trying to do was infer that was the error that he was speaking about earlier with trigonometry.
It's an incoherent red herring fallacy.
that had nothing to do with what he contradicted himself with. He said in 10 seconds, when Nathan asked him, so the Earth is measured flat, he said, yeah. 5 seconds later, he said, after Nathan asked him again, so the Earth is, he measured the Earth flat. No. He did. So that's over. And the 3% out from what measurement? He was 3% from accuracy of what? That's 8 steps down the road of absolute fuckwittery.
I know, that's what I was pointing out.
Yeah, I know. That's why I popped in to settle it back at the origin.
To hijack my points and be the special guy.
Special guy. You're not the original special guy of begging the question 8 steps down the retard trail. So fair enough. Nathan,
what up, man?
Hey, what's that? What? Your sister's ankles?
Yeah, they're still up there. Huh?
Yeah. So, what was I going to say? I was going to say something else too.
They're saying good morning, Chocolate. What up?
You pulled on Nathan.
I wouldn't say what up.
With that,
damn, I forgot what I was going to say, man. I just woke up, so. But anyway,
maybe you stick to your own points. You won't be forgetting them.
Yeah, I'm forgetting a lot recently. Let me tell you that. Nathan, you had Liam's video that you wanted to go over. Remember, you said I will do it tomorrow. That was yesterday.
Yeah, Nathan.
Did I? I don't remember that.
I reposted it in Master B.
Fine. Let's do this.
Excellent.
Can we actually see it in the Hangout? It would be better.
Now you're asking too much.
No, I can do that.
What?
Yes, I can do that.
Appreciate that. Can't hear anything. We can't hear it.
Okay, you will.
Have you ever wondered who measured the size of the Earth? So about 1,000 years ago, a legendary Persian Muslim scientist measured the circumference of the Earth from his hilltop observatory not far from Lahore, the cultural capital.
Was he Muslim? I thought he was a Scientologist.
Of Pakistan.
A Muslim scientist, maybe.
Which, by the way, you should definitely visit. The man was Abu Rehan Al-Biruni, and the place was Nandana Fort. How about we take a trip there right now? On the magnificent salt range of Punjab, you can see a historical wonder. The ancient Nandana Fort, standing tall on the lush green plateau of Potohar.
Is he alleging to actually do a recreation in person of what Al-Biruni measured then?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Nandana Fort is strategically located on a hilltop near the village of Baghamwala in district Jhelum, which is on the eastern flank of the Salt Range.
Right, eastern flank, yes, yes.
It was built in the 8th century by the Hindu Shahi dynasty and is named after the mythological garden of the Hindu god Lord Indra. It's accessible from both the motorway and GT Road.
Excellent access to schools as well.
Yeah, can you make it bigger? Thank you.
The fort was built for the surveillance of the Nandana Pass and as a deterrent for invaders.
There's some load of better camera work going on here.
One more time, Brian.
I said there's some sort of special camera work going on here.
This gentleman needs a extra jumbo on his jumbo sandwich with cheese and extra mayo.
Nandana fort remained a stronghold of the Hindu Shahi dynasty until it was captured in 1013 by Mahmud of Ghazni. And with Mahmud came the legendary Muslim scientist Abu Rehan Al-Biruni.
How did he say his name?
Al-Biruni. Al-Biruni.
Abu Rehan Al-Biruni.
Scientist Abu Rehan
Ruhan Al-Biruni. I did not know that was his name. So the Al-Biruni bit is the place he came from then? His name's Abu...
No.
What?
No. Abu Rehan Al-Biruni is his name, not where he came from.
Al-Biruni. What you're seeing from here was known as the Nandana Pass. The Nandana Pass itself was an ancient stone road that connected India with Afghanistan and Central Asia. This was the very same route used by Alexander the Great in his epic clash with Raja Porus at the Battle of Hydaspes in 326 BC.
How do we know that?
In history books.
It's part of history, Nathan. I think it's really cool. I like the background he gives.
We're still past this. So this has got primary sources for this, has it?
There are primary sources of Alexander the Great, you flatter.
Did I say Alexander the Great? No. The Al-Biruni tread this path, as did Alexander the Great. Where's the primary sources for that?
That Al-Biruni walked on the path? Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding. That's what he's saying is happening, isn't it? So now I want primary sources.
It's weak, man. Roll on.
I don't even know that Al-Biruni existed, and there being absolutely no primary source evidence for this happening is weak, according to you. Fair enough.
It doesn't matter whether he existed or not. It's their story.
Yes, that I'll agree with. Fine. I'll just agree to disagree in a way. So the fact that this is their story, it is their rhetoric, it's in their history books, means we can assess it based on face value.
Yes.
Doesn't need primary sources. But I just want to put in that there aren't any. And I don't buy this. It's still their story, but I don't buy it.
You friggin' conspiratard flatter.
No, I just like primary sources.
What? Primary sources of what? His shoes he wore?
No, that he walked this path, that Al-Biruni did this measurement at all. I'd like that as a primary source piece of evidence. Without it, I don't buy it.
I understand, Your Honor, but this is their story. They have to stick to it, so they have to back it up. Can we move on?
Yes, we can.
Al-Biruni's purpose was to document the history, science, and culture of the region. So once Mahmud of Ghazni went back to Afghanistan, Al-Biruni stayed back. And thank God for that.
Thank God.
I think he means Allah, but fine.
What would happen if that part of that cliff broke off?
He'd die.
Then we would be watching a video.
Yeah.
It'd be like in Wile E. Coyote. He'd like follow down with an Acme weight, and he'd just get in his cloud of dust and climb back up again.
Also,
hold on. Go ahead, Brian. You first.
No, I was just going to say that Al-Biruni and Alexander the Great both drank coffee at the famous Nandana Cafe as well.
Yeah, that's what you stopped it for? Is it for that? Really?
Yeah, I think it's as relevant. It's as believable as that same path rubbish he's talking about.
Yeah. Hey, what about the science of the region Al-Biruni discovered? That's what he just said.
Yeah,
you didn't catch that?
Yeah, I did catch that. No, it's not science. We're talking about measurements. That's maths. It's category error.
No. The science of the region, he said.
Science of the region? Regionally, there is no science. It's a study of cause and effect reasoning based on natural phenomena. So there is no region science.
I am standing at the very spot.
Prove it. Oh, you can't. You just baseless assertion your way through this then.
Where Abu Rehan Al-Biruni had his observatory in the 11th century.
Is there a little plaque there, like one from 300 BC, that says Al-Biruni was here?
Well, what the hell else would you think that little eye through the stone is?
Of course, that stone that was made by Al-Biruni with his dick.
It's the eye of Thundera.
This is where he quantified the radius and circumference of this little blue dot we call home. Abu Rehan al-Biruni, being a mathematical visionary, combined algebra and trigonometry to solve the epic problem.
Hold on, it's over right there.
Yeah, as soon as he said trig, that's it, game over.
No. Mathematical
Calculating the size of the
visionary.
earth.
Stop it. Stop it. No. We told you to stop because you said mathematical visionary. You're not too sharp yet. What is this, your second or third day back?
We heard it.
Yeah, but Nathan, he did use trigonometry.
Oh, God.
I'm just saying, no, I mean, like, he did use trigonometry. Now, you have to presume a lot of stuff, but he did use trigonometry.
Hey, boy.
On the flat Earth.
Hey, boy.
Yes, he did on the pre-assumption of a globe. The claim, if you look into the actual claim, Nathan has had it on screen many times. It's what Metapunk used. He did use trigonometry.
Yeah.
A distance to the horizon.
Yeah, we established that. Shut up, Neil. So, what is a mathematical visionary? Do you like see numbers or something out in the future?
Yeah.
Alberuni.
I got onto that here, but when Nathan said started jumping on trig, I wanted to stop him.
Okay.
Read Al-Biruni's description. Let me tell you how he estimated the size of the Earth. Al-Biruni needed a mountaintop from where he could see the flat horizon.
Pause.
And Nandana Fort was ideal.
Okay, can we stop it there now?
He needed to see the what?
Flat horizon.
Estimated. Sorry. Go back, Nathan, please.
Oh, brother.
Description. Let me tell you how he estimated the size of the Earth.
That doesn't sound like a measurement.
Nope.
Tell it.
Because the only measurements, when he refers to his Earth, are of a flat Earth. So the measurements are of a flat Earth. The calculations or extrapolations or estimations, as he's putting it, are of the sphere Earth after the flat Earth measurements.
Al-Biruni needed a mountaintop from where he could see the flat horizon. And Nandana Fort was ideal for that. But first, he needed to measure the height of the mountain.
Nathan,
Yes.
yeah, it's time to stop like 3 seconds before that. You know the place we're asking you to stop at?
Yes.
Okay. What was it?
Here.
Al-Biruni needed a mountaintop from where he could see the flat horizon.
I love that.
Game, set, and match, baby. But we can move on.
Nandana Fort was ideal.
Go on, Brian.
That was chocolate. No, it wasn't Brian. It was chocolate. We can't hear you, chocolate. You're mumbling into your mic.
I was going to say, in some circles, right? Pardon the pun. The horizon is considered the curve of the Earth, but he just described it as flat. So Al-Biruni needed a mountaintop to see the flat curve of the Earth. Is that what I just heard?
No, part of the measurement he's about to make requires establishment of a horizontal baseline, as in the diagrammatical example that's going to come up in the next 2 seconds. So to establish that, he needs the flatness of the horizon to form the base for the trig. So it must be flat axiomatically if he's going to be using it as part of the measurement, and he is.
For that. But first, he needed to measure the height of the mountain.
See that square box at the bottom of H? See that? Here.
Yep.
That is Al-Biruni measuring Earth with a prerequisite flat surface level for the trig. It's the very thing that Edgware had to run away from yesterday and deny after accepting. So in order for this to be a measurement, you need Earth to be flat. It's part of the measurement. It's a prerequisite. Or this isn't 90.
It's a right-angled triangle is what it is. There, it's not edgeware, it's edgewise. You're sharp as ever.
No, Nathan goes back and forth. A few minutes it's edgeware, then the next few minutes it's edgewise.
Edgewise is slightly filthy. That's why I drop it in. Just don't expect people to pick up on it.
My sister-in-law was getting a kick out of it.
Yeah, that's it. It's for her.
He did this by going to 2 points in the valley, which were in a straight line with the...
Really? Stop.
You go ahead, you go first.
Yeah, where at? You're talking about that valley down there. Where at? Where was he at?
He was over here. There's a little keyhole, and it says Al-Biruni was here, a little heart around it, chiseled into the rock. You never seen it?
It says which were in a straight line with the mountain. Wouldn't every place in the valley, conceptually, hypothetically, be a straight line to the mountain?
If you're measuring for trig, then yeah.
Carry on.
The mountaintop. Then he measured the distance between those 2 points.
So he requires the horizontal distance labeled D to do the trig? Yeah, that's right. He needs a horizontal distance along a flat baseline in order to do this mathematics. Earth is flat to do this.
Did he hire somebody to do a pace count?
Yes.
By the way.
With cubits. He did it with cubits, about 50 centimetres.
And finally, he measured the angles between those points and the mountaintop.
Welcome to Flat Earth.
To do this, he used a device called an astrolabe, which is basically a giant protractor with angles and degrees.
Look at all these flat Earth prerequisites detailed. Horizontal, horizon, flat Earth, a plumb with the astrolabe. Everything about what he's detailing axiomatically requires Earth be flat. Like it can't be done any other way.
And a pointer to determine his line of sight. Now he had enough information.
Is it just me, or did he not mention refraction once? Yeah. The reason he doesn't is because if it's refracted, it's no longer a measurement. Because he needs straight lines.
Okay, understood. Your point is well taken. You said it was refracted. What's it?
The line of straight sight that he's using for his trig.
Just the line of sight was refracted. Are you sure about that?
Yeah, there's a boundary layer in the air. What you want?
Plane. You have the facts wrong, Nathan.
I'm not suggesting this is my facts. This is my baseless version of the spew that we get from our opponents. I'm not suggesting.
Yeah, but they have their facts wrong as well.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not taking ownership of this. This isn't my. Let me just clear this up.
The globe is unbent.
Let me just clear this up. I'm not taking ownership of this argument. I'm begurking what we get in response. That doesn't make it mine. Let's just be clear.
You brought it up when you made a couple of claims, so yes,
he's mocking it.
Mocking it.
No one's on you, buddy.
Using trigonometry and algebra. He needed only one more measurement to get the size of the Earth.
Sorry, a minute ago it was an approximation. Now it's a measurement. What gives?
Yep.
Angle of the line of sight of the horizon as it dips below the horizontal.
What? Axiomatically violating the first two measurements you made? Au contraire, definitely not. That would mean that the initial measurement for height was wrong. Because you've just violated it.
No, Nathan. No. The horizontal that he's making from the mountain, he's measuring the dip from that horizontal to the other horizontal at the horizon.
Really? Where's is that line the horizon right there?
No, it's below it. But
well, that's the claim. Maybe that's not.
Now here's the amazing part.
Now the amazing part's coming.
Al-Biruni imagined the mountain as a large right-angled triangle, which has three
Welcome
corners:
to Flat Earth.
the mountaintop, the horizon, and the center of the Earth. Using trigonometry, Al-Biruni figured out that the angle of the horizon and the height of the mountain were related to the radius of the Earth.
No, they can't be. That's a violation of the base principle of the parallel eye level and surface level he used with a right angle. Earlier, I pointed out for my audience that at the base of the mountain there was a right angle. Where's that gone? Oh, you're violating the right-angled triangle and bending the surface? No, that doesn't jive. That's a violation of the initial measurement that had a little right angle here. But that seems to have vanished now that you're imagining the baseline that was flat that you used for height is actually moving to the centre of Earth? Definitely not. You don't have a right angle anymore.
What he's claiming, Nathan, pause. What he's claiming is that Al-Biruni measured below the horizontal surface that he used to measure from earlier on.
Precisely. Yep. He's now measuring below surface level. Correct.
Algebra helped him calculate it. This was the formula that allowed Al-Biruni to calculate the circumference of the Earth, which, by the way,
let's just go back.
Height of the mountain were related to the radius of the Earth.
No, they can't possibly be related, and I'll tell you why when we get the formula.
Algebra helped him calculate.
H. To have H, you need a right angle at the base of the mountain. It's just vanished for the rest of this shite to appear after H.
This was the formula that allowed Al-Biruni to calculate the circumference of...
No, you violated H. You don't have H if you move to the centre of Earth without a right angle below the mountain. So no.
Pause, Nathan. How did he... Because this would be the main part of his whole claim measurement, and what the one piece of information that besides the measurement, the angular size measurement of the mountain from a horizontal distance, besides that, the other thing he needs, without a doubt, is to know the distance to the horizon. Where did he get that from?
He measured
you
it in
could get
cubits.
it if you pre-assume the Earth was a sphere after you've measured horizontal distances and vertical heights. You could get it then if you decided that the Earth was a sphere of a particular size, and then claim to measure that radius that you've already given to the Earth without any measurement.
Yeah.
But other than that, there was no way for him to know the distance to the horizon.
Correct.
Of the Earth. Which, by the
he could know, 1 second, don't be so fast. He could determine a point on a flat plane, but that wouldn't make it the horizon.
way, it is within 200 miles of the value that we know of it to be today, about 25,000 miles.
Where'd you get that? Where's that measured?
Exactly.
How can you be within 1% of something you haven't measured?
That is an accuracy of 99%. And that too when it was measured almost 1,000 years ago.
So in conclusion, for 1,000 years, we've been measuring the surface of Earth flat for right angles and horizontal distances to get heights of mountains.
For 1,000 years. Let that sink in.
See, but this is the stuff that keeps people in bondage.
The Nandana complex comprises of a fort, a temple, and a mosque.
I think that's it.
Where's the bathroom?
Duper duper. Where's the bathroom?
Where's the bathroom?
The bathtub.
To the left.
From what I hear, they just walk and squat.
Now to the left. Nicely done, Chuck.
Yes, sir.
Is that a JFK quote?
No, it's a chocolate quote.
Right, any more for any more?
It comes with welcome to flat Earth. Part of that. It's in that vein.
Bathrooms to the left.
Oh. DJ's playing request, smoke 'em if you got 'em.
Yeah, in that vein.
Gotcha. With that, I'm going to say, if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Premiering Streams, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, though, if you are watching this live, this is where we bid you farewell. So, another massive thank you to all of you who smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, joined as a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member, and all that good stuff. Of course, a massive thank you to today's G+ and Discord panel for making today's live show possible. I've been Nathan Oakley. Stay tuned if you're watching on an after show, and I will see you all in the next video.